to start with my favorite exercise, which is the pelvic roll-up. So you're lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat. Feet and knees are roughly hip distance apart. Your arms are long alongside your body. Palms facing down. If you want to have more of a stretch over the front chest and shoulders, you can rotate the palms up to face the sky or stretch them out a bit wider. But otherwise, you can just keep them next to you. And then you're going to scoop the tailbone under and start to roll the spine off the floor. So the tailbone starts to lift and you're peeling the spine up off the ground, one vertebra at a time. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed. Pushing your feet through the earth as you squeeze the bum up. Try not to pop out the rib cage. You don't want to be arching the spine, but rather keeping the spine fairly neutral at the very top of your lift, whilst maintaining that posterior pelvic tilt by squeezing the bum. On your way down, you can lead from the rib cage as you roll one vertebra at a time, keeping the tailbone tucked away from the floor and connecting back down to the mat. Let's go again. Tuck the tailbone, scooping into the lower abdominals. Think hollow belly, rounded back as you press your feet through the floor. Lift, lift, lift. Avoid arching with the spine, but focus on lifting from the glutes. And then rolling your way all the way back down. And then one more, just for that. Tuck the tailbone, rolling your way up. Squeeze the hips to the sky. Make sure the knees are not flopping apart or conking inwards. And roll your way all the way back down. And rolling onto your side with clamshells. You can either have your bottom arm long underneath your head, or you can support the head, or you can place a pillow underneath your neck, your head and neck. Knees are bent forwards with your feet in line with your bum. So got shoulders, hips and feet in a straight line, and knees are roughly 90 degrees bent. You want to push the top hip away from you so your pelvis is nice and stacked, and you're going to keep the pelvis in that same position throughout the exercise. Tummy is drawn in, so you're not collapsing in the lower back. Everything is set and a straight spine. We're going to clamshell, lifting that top knee open and close. So squeezing out of that side glute as you rotate the thigh open. And then when you come down, you can come down just to hover to maintain that tension on those side glute muscles and hover it down. Avoid rolling the top hip back and forwards. The work happens inside that hip socket specifically. You're going to straighten out the top leg, reaching that leg away from you so you get a little bit of a lifting sensation through the bottom oblique. Again, you're welcome to drop the arm if the leg is getting tired. You want to pull the leg back so it's in line with your bum. And then squeezing in that side bum, you lift the leg and lower it down. What I'm avoiding here is kicking up through the front quads, but rather focus on lifting through the side bum only. You also don't want to do too much of the work with the side obliques. You want to focus on strengthening inside those hip and pelvic stabilizing muscles. Then we're going to do an inner thigh leg raise. So you're going to move the top leg out of the way and straighten the bottom leg. So the knees pointing up to the sky, so it's out of the way of the bottom leg. It can be behind the leg or in front of the leg, or even resting on the floor in front of you, whichever one helps you feel the inner thigh working the most. For me, that tends to be upright and behind. Making sure you have a spotlight shining right down on that inner thigh, because that's where the work is going to be happening, and you're going to lift the leg as high as you can and lower it down. So again, you don't want to be lifting up through the front quads, you want to be lifting up through the inner thighs. Try not to compensate with the rest of the body. Try not to rock and roll all over the place. Big squeeze on the inner thigh. Then coming on over onto your hands and knees, we're going to work into a fire hydrant. So keeping the spine nice and neutral, shoulders down away from the ears, chin tucked in, neck is long. Hips are directly over the knees, the shins are parallel to one another. Without moving the hips too much side to side, you're going to lift the knee out to the side. So you want to imagine you're lifting that inner thigh to the base of the floor. You'll notice the body may want to sit to the side a little bit to compensate, but that's where your core comes in. Core is holding you strong, so you can lift and lower out of that side glute muscle. Similarly to your fire hydrants, you're going to do a donkey kick, keeping the lower back neutral, using the core muscles to hold everything nice and straight. You're going to then flex the toes and press the foot up towards the sky like you're kicking through the ceiling, and then bring the knee back down to neutral. Don't need to let the knee touch the ground, you can keep it just off with a hover, and you're going to press and lower, press and lower. Now we don't really want to be extending here. We want to focus on that big glute squeeze up to the sky and a bit of hamstring tension, maintaining that knee bend at 90 degrees. And again, just try not to shift the body over to the side. For the standing side leg raises, you're welcome to go stand somewhere where there's a bit of balance and support, behind a chair or a counter, just something light to place your hands onto, or something to place your hands onto lightly. As you get more strong and confident, just start to let go of the chair. Maybe staying close to something so that you can catch yourself in case you fall, but otherwise your hips will start to get stronger the more you rely only on the hip stabilizers. So keeping the body up tall, you're going to lift the leg out to the side. Avoid kicking forwards and avoid using the swaying of the upper body to get the leg to raise. So you squeeze it out and lower it down. To really focus on using that glute, you can also rotate the toes in slightly, focusing on lifting out sideways through the outer heel. Then we're going to do some sit stands. So you can cross your arms over your chest to keep them out of the way. Alternatively, you can reach them forwards if it makes you feel more balanced. You're going to drop the bum down and lift the hips up. You want to hinge at the pelvis, pulling the hips down into the chair, and as you stand, you want to squeeze the hips forward and push the knees back. Try not to lean and swing. You want to keep the upper body as upright as possible so the work is translated through the legs. Don't allow the knees to cock in, and no wide knees either.